All right, today we're diving deep into a new global report all about the state of artificial intelligence. We're going to look at how it's being used, what the biggest risks are, and maybe most importantly, how we can all navigate its incredible power safely.
The report kicks off with this really great metaphor. Think of AI as a powerful new river. On one hand, it's got all this amazing potential. It can generate power, create new pathways, help things grow. But if we don't manage it right, it also has a power to flood and cause a whole lot of damage. So today, let's try to map that river.
So, first up, let's get a lay of the land. Where is this AI river flowing right now? Who's jumping in, and what's holding others back on the shore?
And believe me, the river is already flowing wide and fast. According to McKinsey, about 3/4, that's 75%, of organizations are already using AI in some way. This isn't some far-off futuristic thing anymore. It's happening right now, doing everything from crunching data to creating brand new content. But here's the thing. Not everyone's in the same boat. You've got the big firms, and they're navigating this river like pros. They've got dedicated AI teams, they have a map, their leaders are on board. But smaller companies, well, a lot of them are still trying to figure it all out, often without the same resources or clear direction from the top. So why are some people hesitant to even dip a toe in the water? Well, the reasons are pretty real. We're talking about everything from practical stuff like not having enough money or a clear business plan, all the way to something deeply human. Just a basic fear of change and a resistance to a new way of doing things. Okay, so let's move from the who to the how. We're going to get really concrete now and look at some real-world examples that show both sides of this coin, the incredible promise and the very real peril. And this is where you really see that balancing act. Take healthcare. AI could be a game changer for reducing doctor burnout by helping with paperwork. But what if it makes a mistake? The consequences could be huge. Or in education. Personalized AI tutors sound amazing, right? But it also makes things like cheating a whole lot easier. It's this constant push and pull in every single field. This brings us to what might be the single biggest technical hurdle we face. It's a problem that, if we don't solve it, could completely destroy our trust in AI. It's called the hallucination problem. So, what on earth is an AI hallucination? What does it even mean for a machine to hallucinate? It's a weird term, but it's one you really need to know. To put it simply, it's when an AI gives you an answer that sounds totally confident and plausible, but it's completely wrong. It's not just a small error. It's the AI literally making stuff up out of thin air. And that's a massive, massive problem if you're supposed to rely on these tools for facts. So why does this happen? Well, it's because of a fundamental misunderstanding of what AI is. It's not a truth machine, it's a pattern-matching machine. Its whole job is to predict the next most likely word in a sentence based on the mountains of data it was trained on. It's not actually checking if that sentence is true. So if the data is flawed or your question is a little vague, it can easily go off the rails into fiction. Now, the good news is there's a full-on war being waged against these hallucinations. First, there's a cool technique called RAG, which basically gives the AI a cheat sheet of trusted facts to work from. Second, it's about getting way better at giving the AI super specific instructions. And third, and this is absolutely critical, it's having real humans in the loop, constantly checking, correcting, and fine-tuning what the AI puts out. Okay, so we've stared into the abyss of the biggest risk. Now let's zoom back out and look at the big picture again. How do we build the guardrails? How do we make sure this powerful river stays within its banks? I love how the report breaks down these really complex ethical problems with simple analogies. For bias, imagine you have a cookbook, but it only has recipes from one country. It's just not going to be fair to all the other types of food. For accountability, think about a self-driving car that crashes. Who's responsible? The owner? The programmer? The car company? We need to have that same kind of clarity for AI. And this all leads to this really perfect comparison. The point is, you don't just hand the keys to a Formula One car to a student driver, right? Adopting AI has to be the same. It needs to be a gradual, supervised process. You learn the rules, you practice, and you slowly build confidence and safety. So, to make that real, organizations are using 5 key strategies. It all starts with small, controlled test projects. It means having clear rules and leaders. It demands a huge investment in training people. And, maybe most of all, it requires being radically transparent to earn everyone's trust. All right, our final section, let's look downstream. Where is this powerful river heading next, and what does the future look like? So much of the talk around AI is about jobs disappearing. But this data tells a different, more interesting story. It's not just about shrinking the workforce, it's about a massive shift. A huge chunk of companies are actually planning to retrain their people for new kinds of jobs, roles where human skills and AI work together. So, if we bring it all together, what have we learned on our trip down the river? 1. AI adoption is happening, and it's happening fast, but not everyone is keeping up. 2. The risk of AI making things up is the #1 threat to trust, but we're fighting back. 3. We absolutely need humans in the loop and clear rules. And 4. Ethics can't be an afterthought. It has to be baked in from the very beginning.
And really, the whole report boils down to this powerful idea. Our job isn't to build a dam to try and stop this river of progress. Our job is to build the channels, the guardrails, and the irrigation systems to guide its power productively and safely for all of us.
And that leaves us, and you, with a final question to think about. As we all stand on the banks of this incredible, fast-moving river of change, the choice of what we build next is entirely up to us.